My first question was about trust flow category. Is a domain with a Majestic trust flow category of just business suitable for any local business project, or do I need the domain to be very specific to the category like business finance? This is a great question too. Like business / financial or business construction and maintenance, etc. Would just plain business category have any power and be flexible with what industry could benefit from a link from it? Thanks. That's a great question, Ben. And yeah, okay. So the way that I do everything with my link building business is for tier 1 links. So those are links that are going to link to the money site, Google Business website, Google Business Map. Okay. So those are the 3 tier 0 assets. That's how I've been calling it that for over a year. The 3 tier 0 assets. It's like the holy trinity, right? So we have the money site, the Google Business website, the Google Maps. So any tier 1 links are going to link to one of those 3 assets or all 3 of them, okay, which is fine because they're all connected. So it's okay to link to all 3 of them in one rebuilt domain. That I always try to use the most appropriate topical trust flow category, which is generally going to be a subcategory. So as you mentioned, business is a top level topical trust flow category, but then there's a whole bunch of subcategories within the business category. Construction and maintenance, that's one that we use a lot for contractors. Financial services, as you said, there's one for transportation and logistics. There's one for healthcare. There's one, I mean, there's just a bunch of them. And by the way, there's a great, this is an old diagram, but this is a diagram that shows the different Majestic. You guys can search this. Just go search for Majestic Monitor, Social Explorer, or whatever. But this shows the top level categories are these big bars on the inside, and then if you click on them, it pushes out a little bit, and then it shows all the different subcategories within each one of the categories. So financial services, arts and entertainment, marketing and advertising, consumer goods and services, construction and maintenance. Anyways, these are all the different subcategories for business here. And this is an old, I don't know if they actually maintain this still, maybe because it looks like it's live. But anyways, I use this often in consultation with link building clients to kind of explain and let them see like the different categories. So back to your question. For tier 1 links, we always try to assign only domains that are in the appropriate topical trust flow category, the most appropriate category, which is generally going to be a subcategory. Okay. But at tier 2, you can go broader, right? So the point that I'm trying to make here is if you're going out and hunting down domains, which is smart that you're doing that, and looking at topical relevance is your primary metric, which it should be, and domain history, topical relevance and domain history. Those should be the most important things that you look at when you're hunting down domains to be using for link building purposes. So try to find for any domains that you're considering purchasing for to link directly to any one of your tier 0 assets. So any tier 1 rebuild is what we call them at Semantic Links, should be in the most appropriate topical trust flow category. And sometimes there's more than one topical trust flow category. Again, back to tree services, business, construction and maintenance is one. Another one is business, agriculture and forestry. Those are both highly relevant to the tree care industry or tree service industry. Then there's another one for home that's gardening. So this is home, and it's much harder to see this one. I think sometimes you can actually zoom in on these, makes it a little bit easier, but there's one in here for gardening right there, home/gardening. That's a subcategory. That's also relevant. To a lesser degree, there's science/agriculture. Science is this green one over here, or that's news. Your science is this one. There's one for agriculture that is also, to a lesser degree right there, agriculture that could also be potentially used for tree service contractors. But mainly for tree service stuff, we look for business, construction and maintenance, or business, agriculture and forestry, or home gardening, right? So those are like the 3 that I use for tier 1 links. But at tier 2, we can use pretty much, I don't like to, but we can use pretty much anything in the business category because it's still related. It's not perfectly relevant, but it's still closely related. Does that make sense? So, great question. But what I would suggest is that you consider, where you're going to use those domains. And if you find good domains with clean histories, high trust flow values, but it's just not in the most appropriate category to use to link directly to the money site, the Google Business site, or the Google Map, then purchase it anyways and use that as a tier 2 link. Right? Here's the thing. You could do something like a cloud page right? HTML hosted cloud page. Make sure that you're available for the webinar next week that we do with Jesper, because you're going to see like he's got a great system for doing that. You can build a cloud page with relevant content that links to your money site and your other tier 0 assets, a Google business site, Google Map. And then that's the tier 1 link now, right? And so that's fully relevant because you've optimized the content. It's got everything is optimized exactly the way that it should be to point to your money site and your other tier 0 assets. Now you could use that domain that you found that's not in the most appropriate category, but still related as a tier 2 link to link to that cloud page, for example. Or you could use your Blogger blog, right? Your blog, a post on Blogger, or a press release, your organization page, the ID page, a Google site. Any one of those branded tier 1 assets can now become a link building target for the domain that you're looking at that might not be in the most appropriate category, but it's still related. It would make a perfect tier 2 link to power up one of those tier 1 assets. Does that make sense? So the further you get away, right? So at tier 3, you can go even broader, right? So like, for example, going back over to here, there's regional, which is pink. So regional, for example, you'll see Europe, there's North America. So like those are really broad, but it's still, wouldn't a link for a tree service contractor, in my case, in United States or Canada for that matter, right? North America. If I find a domain that has a backlink profile that is in the regional North America trustflow category, topical trustflow category, I wouldn't want to use that as a tier 1 link or probably even a tier 2 link, but tier 3, why not? Right? So at tier 3, I can use that to power up tier 2 assets. And it's just about pushing trustflow. The further away you get from your money site or your tier 0 assets, the less relevant it can be. I still recommend that you try to find some sort of connection and just use logic to determine that, right? Common sense. That was a great question too. I love questions about link building because I enjoy it. I love digging into the data. So that was a great question, Ben.